Now, Lowcountry Forever, a public affairs presentation of the Charleston Radio Group.
Give the gift of life. It's something that the American Red Cross asks you to do, more so now than ever because of a shortage of blood. I'm Brian Cleary. Today on Lowcountry Forever, we're talking about donating blood for the American Red Cross. And you may have heard over and over the last 6 to 8 months about a critical blood shortage that only seems to be getting worse. Let's find out if that's the case and what you can do to help with Frecia Amons. She is the account manager for the American Red Cross. The blood need, Frecia, is real.
First of all, thank you for having me. And let's start by saying, yes, we do have a shortage. Currently, there is a need for all types, but most especially type O. Hospitals respond and need type O because they respond to a high number of traumas and emergency room visits. And a fact that I recently learned is during COVID, many folks put off their care. They went without, they deferred their care because of the pandemic. And now that we're coming out of the pandemic, they have found themselves in a situation where they need blood and blood products. So it is depleting our supply and the demand has gone way up.
Wow.
So we need units of blood quickly.
Frecia, explain to people type O blood. Why is it that O might be more important than another blood type?
All blood types are needed, but type O is needed, and currently we have less than a half-day supply of type O. Type O is what's most needed, the most needed blood group by the hospitals. It's the most transfused blood type and can be transfused to Rh positive patients of any blood type. And then, of course, type O negative is the universal blood type, and that's the type emergency rooms like to have a lot of on hand because in an emergency situation where they don't have time to type you, anybody can take or receive type O negative blood. So the emergency room, those doctors, nurses can automatically give you O neg to save your life because it could be a life or death situation. No time. Give the patient type O negative.
So COVID has created some problems, as you referenced, the fact that people were putting off care and going to the hospital now. But COVID has also impacted because you were not able to have the same number of drives or the frequency of drives just because of the challenges from the pandemic. Are we getting beyond a little of that?
Well, we are seeing that more businesses are going back to normal. But we still would like to have more blood drives and collect more blood. Our usage has gone up dramatically. We need more blood drives.
And for the people who have been a little nervous about going out and giving blood because of the pandemic, you go to a Red Cross blood drive, you've got lots of safety measures in place.
That is correct. We are following strict safety measures. We are social distancing, using hand sanitizer. We ask that people who are not vaccinated wear a mask. We are still wiping everything down and doing everything we can do to adhere to the CDC guidelines and make it a safe, happy, and healthy environment.
Frecia Amons is an account manager with the American Red Cross, joining us today on Lowcountry Forever. So people are listening. They understand that there's a need. And on June 24th, along with News 2, the American Red Cross hosting a blood drive. Can you give me the information about how people can donate that day?
They can either show up to one of our two locations, one in Somerville at the Rawlins Community Center, or the other location is in Mount Pleasant at the Omar Shrine Center. We'll be at both locations from 11 until 7. The best way to make an appointment, which we encourage, is to visit www.redcrossblood.org. the top right-hand corner, you can type in your zip code, or you can type in our secret word, Blood Blitz. It will take you right to the pages where you can schedule your appointment time.
So there's a benefit to both the donor and the Red Cross for people who make appointments, and there's also something additional in there, a Fast Pass. Can you explain what that is?
Sure. It's an opportunity for donors to complete the necessary reading material and answer the questions prior to coming to the blood drive. So you have that part of the process done. You do that on your smartphone or your computer. When you complete that, you're given a barcode. You bring that barcode on your smartphone with you to the blood drive. The staff scan it. All of the information populates. We like to say it saves about 12 to 13 minutes.
And for somebody who's trying to make an appointment, maybe in their Outlook calendar now, they want to come out and help out on June 24th. How much time should they set aside? How long does it take to give blood?
It takes about 45 minutes to an hour. And we like to let everyone know that walk-ins are, of course, welcome.
Sure.
We are not in the business of turning away donors. However, appointments will take priority. We do everything we can to honor appointments so that we can tell you it will take 45 minutes to 1 hour to complete the entire process.
And we always talk about the gift of life. By giving blood, you're saving up to 3 lives. Exactly how is that the case?
Because the whole blood can actually be broken down into 3 different components: platelets, plasma, and red blood cells. And you might be able to use my red blood cells. Somebody else can use my plasma, and somebody else can use my platelets. So my whole blood donation can actually touch up to 3 lives, and that's pretty special.
And when you come out to give blood, there's actually 2 opportunities for you to give. You can give your whole blood, but then you can also do another procedure.
That's correct. And we call that our double red cell procedure. We target specific blood types and different height and weight requirements. We take your whole blood, it goes through a transfusion process, and we just keep the red blood cells. We actually reverse the process and give the donor back their platelets and plasma, and sometimes some additional saline. So we're giving you back what we're not using, and we're keeping those red blood cells. So you can donate whole blood, or if you meet the criteria to do our double red cell procedure, you can do that.
And let's talk about who can give blood in terms of age and those other things. Who's eligible to donate?
There's no upper age limit. As
Okay.
long as you are healthy and well, come on out. You do need to be at least 16 years old with parental consent. You need to have a picture ID or a blood donor card. You need to weigh at least 110 pounds. Every participant needs to be feeling healthy and well, and we encourage people to eat and drink before you come. It's not a process we recommend doing on an empty stomach.
Free Shamans is an account manager with the American Red Cross. We're talking about the summer blood drive coming up with 92.5 Kickin' Country, the Charleston radio group, and our friends at News 2 as well. So June 24th, we'll be looking to get as many people out as possible to donate. And for this blood drive, there's actually a reward for people who could come by.
There is a reward. It is sponsored also by Suburban Propane, and we are giving each participant via email a $15 gift card.
Wow. That's awesome. And Suburban Propane, one of the many area businesses that has really lent their support during this time of blood need. Can you talk about them and more your sponsors and some folks so everybody knows who's really been stepping up to help out the American Red Cross?
Sure. We have a great partnership with Suburban Propane nationally and also with Amazon.
Okay.
They also step in and frequently donate or give our donors a $5 gift card. But this one, Suburban Propane, has definitely sponsored and are giving the $15 gift card. We're very, very grateful for our partnership with them.
And that'll be available to all presenting donors who come out that day?
That's correct. All presenting donors, and it will be sent to the donor via email. So you do have to have a good email address.
And you mentioned before about the age restrictions, no upper end, but parental consent and things like that. I think people don't always realize, and this may be one of the reasons why the blood supplies are lower, that younger adults are folks who give. you've missed out on some school drives and things like that. Felicia, can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. We missed a large chunk of donations during COVID, during the pandemic, because of schools, high schools, and colleges being closed, even our elementary schools, because we go there and recruit the parents, faculty, and staff.
Oh, sure.
But those high school and college aged donors are wonderful and great supporters to us. Of course, they don't realize it. They probably donate because they're getting out of class or getting a free snack.
Sure.
So be it. However, the American Red Cross as a whole collects a large amount of blood and blood products from those blood drives in that age group.
And some people may say, oh, I'd love to give blood, but it hurts so much. But that's not really the case. We're just talking about one little needle prick.
It's a quick pinch, and you really just need a little bit of courage. You can do it.
That's right. Take one for the team, and you're saving up to 3 lives by doing so. And you're going to meet some great people, some volunteers and things like that that you'll see at the blood drive. And, of course, perhaps even some of the folks from News 2, those big celebrities, who knows, who might be out in either Mount Pleasant or Somerville for the blood drive. And after you give, I've been a donor before, and it's been nice to find out afterwards that I'll get a note from the Red Cross saying that my blood went to, and it's nice. Most of the blood stays local, but you find out how your blood helped.
You will receive an email to let you know where your blood went. And most of it does stay in South Carolina, but because we're a national organization, we are able to ship blood and blood products to other hospitals who might need what we have. So you get that note of where it goes. I know that my blood has stayed in South Carolina, but I've also had notes where it went to Georgia. So I'm fine with, helping out the neighbors too.
And so right now is really an important time because, as you said, half-day supply in some hospitals. So the blood need is really, really critical right now.
It really is. If you're thinking about donating or you donate twice a year, this is the time of the year you really want to do it. You really need to come out, or we really want you to come out. This is a great blood drive to visit. But even if you can't make this blood drive, please go to our website and type in your zip code of the town you want to donate in and find a blood drive near you, because we need every unit we can get.
And you mentioned you can give twice a year. If you give twice a year, you can actually give more than that.
You can't give more than that. You can give every 56 days, every 8 weeks. So if you start in January, you can actually give 6 times in 1 year, wow, which is great. Most donors do give 2 or 3 times a year. We would love to see that change. We would love to see that increase.
So the summer blood drive coming up on June 24th. If you can once again run through where people should go to make their appointment and give us all the details on that particular drive.
Right. If they can go to redcrossblood.org and type in the top right corner either a zip code or our secret word for this blood drive, which is Blood Blitz, schedule your appointment to come to either the Omar Shrine Center in Mount Pleasant or the Rollins Community Center in Somerville. We're at both locations from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m., and we will welcome you with open arms. Make sure you have a little something to eat and drink before you come, and complete your rapid pass.
92.5 Kicking Country and the Charleston Radio Group, proud to be partnering with News 2 on this blood drive. And Felicia, if you wouldn't mind, talk a little bit about, because you guys have gotten a great deal of support over the years, and it continues from our friends at News 2.
We have been partners with them for over 20 years, and they're actually our largest media-sponsored blood drive in the state of South Carolina. So we value greatly our partnership, our friendship with them. They have helped us collect thousands of units of blood, and we're like forever grateful for them, for them. They're just fabulous people. They always do a great job. They're always saying, yes, what can we do? So they are definitely our friends for life.
It's a good thing. And we're just asking people 45 minutes to an hour of your time. It will make a difference, someone who comes out to give the gift of life.
It's just a critical time. It's a time of emergency, and it's just a good time for people to come out and give. I mean, we need every unit we can get. It will truly make a difference, and thank you.
This Thursday, June 24th, be a part of it, the Summer Blood Drive with 92.5 Kicking Country, the Charleston Radio Group, and News 2. It's an opportunity for you to give the gift of life and help the American Red Cross in their time of need. The American Red Cross today on Lowcountry Forever.
The Charleston Radio Group is the Lowcountry. Every week, we highlight local organizations and events that are helping to make a difference here where we live. If you have a group, event, or an idea to feature on Lowcountry Forever, let us know. Visit lowcountryforever.com and click on our podcast link for contact information. Now, Lowcountry Forever continues.
Shopping local, the importance of being local. It's one of the things that lots of folks in the Lowcountry talk about. Do you practice what you preach? And where can you shop local? And what's the importance of that? Those are all topics we are talking about today on Lowcountry Forever. I'm Brian Cleary. We're happy to be joined today on Lowcountry Forever by Quinn Sherman, who is the director of Middle King Shopping District in downtown Charleston. Quinn, thanks for taking the time. People may not know that there is a Middle King Shopping District or what it's all about. How would you explain that to people who are listening?
Right. Well, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to talk about this positive movement towards bringing people together locally and trying to keep our local community shopping local and keeping the money here and keeping the economy here. So really, we just created a coalition of sorts, an initiative to come together as a group and stop looking at it as competitors, more so come together to collaborate and work together and support one another to promote our businesses and promote shopping locally. And that King Street is a very special historic shopping district, and you can find some of the coolest product, clothing, shoes, jewelry, watches that you can find anywhere online. So why not keep your money local and keep your money in your local economy?
And you talk about the competition, because I never realized this, but I remember many years ago in a town I was living, a restaurant moved next to another restaurant. And I immediately thought, well, that's got to be the worst thing in the world. And then somebody said, well, no, more people are going to come, and maybe they don't choose my restaurant all the time, but it'll bring more. And is that a similar situation with King Street?
Absolutely. The more traffic we have on the street, the more traffic that we have in each of our stores. And having different sort of product variety, it is going to bring different people into different stores that maybe they didn't know about, or maybe they hadn't shopped there before. And so coming together as a group, this does help us all cross promote one another. And if one store doesn't have something, then we'll send them somewhere else to find what they're looking for. So it's really all about that, is that there is no competition. It's we want these shoppers in this community to find us and start shopping throughout our district, because the more foot traffic we have into one store, and they know, kind of what Middle King Shopping District is doing and what we're a part of, then it's going to lead to them shopping with other stores in this group. So, that can only be a positive impact for everyone and their business.
So define Middle King, because some people may have a different thought about where Middle King is, and who is it that makes up the Middle King Shopping District?
We definitely didn't go by a city ordinance or
right.
that sort of zoning. We just kind of created the name in this certain couple blocks of Charleston. We wanted to start small with the vision and thought of expanding further throughout those kind of current boundaries we created. So initially we started from Calhoun to Market on King Street. That is such a lively district that currently there's a lot of vacancies. There's a lot of big box retailers moving in, and amongst us, are some of the longest standing heavy hitters on the street. They've been in business for hundreds of years, and especially Krogan's and Dumas, they've been each individually in business for hundreds of years. So we decided to keep it small for now and kind of get our footing and figure out what was going to work for everyone and how this was going to play out, if it was a concept that was going to stick for the local community of shoppers. And it really has. People know what Mickey is. The Middle King Shopping District, we call ourselves Mickey for short, and it's becoming a recognized group.
Can you list out the stores that are actually in the district?
Jackson Davenport, which is vision and sunglasses, and they've got, an on-site ophthalmologist and eye appointments. Then we have Shoes on King, which their specialty is shoes, but they've also got bags and other little gift items, accessory items. And then we have Hamden Clothing, which is women's contemporary clothing. And we have Jordan Lash, which is men's clothing. We have Finicky Philly, which is another contemporary women's clothing store. We have Krogan's Jewel Box, which is jewelry and gifts. M. Dumas and Sons, which is also men's clothing and shoes. And we also have Palm Avenue, which is a locally owned signature Lilly Pulitzer store. But they also carry some other designers and brand names and accessories within the store.
Today on Lowcountry Forever, we're talking with Quinn Sherman. She is the director of the Middle King Shopping District. We talk about local a lot, Quinn, so make the case for us right now. People should shop local. Why should they do that?
People should shop local because these stores, these small businesses have made King Street what it is today. And we don't want to lose that. We don't want to lose the charm and the history of these locally owned retailers who specialize in really amazing products and clothing. We don't want to lose the charm of this shopping district. There are huge outdoor shopping malls and shopping districts of that sort in other cities, but nothing is quite like what we have on King Street. And we want to keep these small businesses alive because they're a huge part of just the community in Charleston in general and why it is so special and why people want to come here. So, we encourage locals and tourists alike to shop locally with us. And the more that we can traffic back to King Street and putting their money in their own personal communities, it's only going to be better for the city as a whole and these small businesses that really have made King Street what it is.
Small business, really the backbone of America. I wish I didn't have to ask this question, but we've all dealt with it over the past 12, 15 months. Obviously, COVID has impacted everything. Can you talk a little bit about the impact of COVID that you've seen in terms of the Middle King Shopping District, and have we turned the corner? Are we beyond that or still kind of making our way out of it?
I definitely think we've turned the corner, and we have for, I would say, a couple months now. I think once people started feeling more comfortable coming back to the street and we're getting vaccinated, we have seen a crazy amount of business in all of our stores. And it's been really, really amazing to see. But it was a struggle for a long time, obviously, for small businesses across America. But King Street was heavily impacted. I mean, these stores had to close, and then they couldn't find staffing for when things picked back up. It was definitely hard on everyone just because of the safety issues. And that is definitely one of the reasons that Mickey came about, is because we also instituted a local delivery option for these stores. So if people weren't comfortable coming back to shop in store, we could bring them their purchases. And it also amped up a lot of everyone's online business because they were forced to have online stores, which has just boosted everyone's business in general because now they're doing both. They're doing in-store and online. So with the convenience factor during such a hard time, that had really helped everyone get through it. I did several. During the holiday season alone, I probably had 1 million deliveries around the Lowcountry. So we were heavily impacted, but I really do think that the corner has been turned, and we're seeing a lot of traffic and a lot of people back shopping on the street, and it's wonderful.
I think one of the things I'm impressed with in terms of the makeup of the Middle King Shopping District is that you do have a Dumas who has been synonymous with Charleston for however long, but there's also some newer shops. So it's a good mix of people that are in business downtown and looking for local support.
Exactly. It's a perfect mix. There's always going to be those long-standing businesses that hold everyone together, and the new businesses bring everybody up even more. And so it's really nice to have such a great variety of stores involved in this, and such a great variety of stores that want to be involved, because it only makes us better. It only helps everyone. And I think that the sense of community that Middle King Shopping District brings to everyone is a good, positive, progressive feeling. And it only is hopeful for everyone that their business can succeed in hard times and in good times. And, retail in general has struggled through the years. So just competing with online mavericks like Amazon and things like that, because it's so convenient, and I get it. That's the big positive push for us, is that it can still be convenient to shop locally.
And you mentioned before, big box, the news that Target is going to be coming down in the old Forever 21, convenience online and all that. But there is something to be said, at least for me, and I think you would agree and could make the point for the retailers. There's something about going to a smaller business, a small business, the personal service, the extra things that you're going to get that maybe I have to pay an extra dollar for, but boy, in the long term, it's really worth it.
It's worth it. You make connections with these people and relationships with them, the sales associates, the store owners, and you could probably end up, having them in your cell phone, able to text them and say, hey, I really need a gift. Do you have anything in mind? Or what do you think for, my dad, my mom, my brother, my boyfriend? You create a relationship that you cannot get online, that you cannot get with big box retailers. And that's another amazing feeling that I think this community gets when they go into a store and everybody knows each other and everybody treats them at the highest respect and gives them the full service, the full red carpet service that you don't see in a lot of retailers. That makes people feel special. That makes people want to shop in these stores. It makes them want to tell their friends and their family to shop in these stores. These stores are all friends and they support one another, and why don't we support all of them? That's kind of the vision behind this entire initiative, and it's a good feeling. It's definitely something that I have truly loved being a part of and advocating for, and keeping everybody together. It's so much easier to advocate for things that you need as retailers and as a city.
Quinn Sherman is our guest today on Lowcountry Forever. She is the director of the Middle King Shopping District. Quinn, if somebody is listening maybe in Hanahan or Goose Creek, they may think, oh, I don't know, King Street, is it safe for me to go down there? Because there's always that, and a lot of times not true, but question about, hey, safety and things like that. How would you respond to folks?
That's definitely been a concern in recent times, but I would have to say that it is so safe. It is clean. We're all open for business. We're here to support you and to serve up, Southern hospitality to our shoppers. The police force has been extremely supportive of King Street retail and communicating with us and keeping us safe and keeping our customers safe. So if I were to tell you, I think that King Street is still the same King Street it has always been, and it is safe, never dangerous, and come shop with us. If that's a concern for you, it shouldn't be.
You mentioned the stores that are part of the Middle King Shopping District now. Is that something that you're looking to expand on? And if so, how does somebody go about maybe contacting you?
Yes, we're definitely looking to expand in the future. We're still kind of in our early incubation stage, I guess, as you would say. Just making sure that we're doing the right things, that we're being involved in the right things, and that we're putting out a message that works for everyone. So I would definitely encourage you to reach out to me. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook, and our handle is @ShopMiddleKing. And you can always personally email me at hello@shopmiddleking.com. I've gotten quite a few inquiries of how to be a part of what we're doing, and it's wonderful. And I encourage everyone to join forces, and there's power in numbers for sure.
It seems to be a win-win situation, because I think a lot of people would say, well, we go down to downtown Charleston for the restaurants, the bars, and that. You're trying to bring some people in for retail, but if folks come down for retail, they're more likely to have lunch. So it's really a partnership that works together with all the businesses.
Absolutely. And that is something that we have discussed at length for the future of Mickey, is teaming up with the restaurants. We've got a pretty good rapport with a lot of the hotels in the area, and working with them with their guests and sending them to shop with us. And it's something that could evolve over time, be something very big that is helpful to all of the businesses on King Street. And we like to send people to restaurants we love to go to ourselves, and send business their way. We're not afraid to promote our entire street, because it's only good for everyone.
Again, more of the personal touch that comes with being a locally owned small business than big box. Because I have to think these business owners, this is their passion, this is their life that they're doing. It's not just a job for them.
No, it's not just a job for them. And so many of these owners are so involved in the community and the city, and they're always working to better our street. And so it's not just about their business. They care about the community as a whole. And it's really special to see business owners, small business owners, who care more about others than their own businesses, because at the end of the day, if other businesses aren't succeeding, they're not going to either, because it's just a cyclical effect.
So Quinn Sherman oversees the Middle King Shopping District. Again, if somebody would need to get a hold of you to reach out for questions or for information, that email address that you talked about, Quinn?
Is hello@shopmiddleking.com. You can email me anytime, and you can find us on social media and our website. So we encourage you to reach out, and we'd love to discuss joining forces and collaborating in any way that we can.
She is Quinn Sherman with the Middle King Shopping District on Lowcountry Forever.
Thanks for listening to Lowcountry Forever. If you missed any of this week's show, there's a complete recording under the podcast link at lowcountryforever.com. Lowcountry Forever is a public affairs presentation of the Charleston Radio Group.